live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
Mental health moment. This one, I was actually proud. You know, I know some of my former teammates in my group chat didn't share this opinion about what Calvin Ridley did, but I was actually proud of him for making the decision to take some time away from the team to get himself together. He's taking some time away to focus on his mental well-being. I don't know if there was a time frame that he gave. I didn't see one. But this was a bold step. You know, I know that we did hear a little bit of backlash when over the summer when Simone Biles made the decision to take some time away, and we heard I can't think of the young lady's name right now, tennis player.
Naomi
Osaka. Yes. And so you've heard, like, you know, them receive support, but you also heard the backside of it where people felt like they were quitting on their teams and this, that, and the third. And so in the face of that, especially with social media and having to hear, you know, the support you hear, but, you know, those jeers are louder than the support sometimes. I was proud that, you know, even in the face of that, he took this stand. What did you guys think about it?
I think it was admirable as well. I think back in the summer, those ladies taking the stance that they did started a wider conversation that needed to be going on around athletics that I think people just maybe didn't want to talk about, but for it to happen on the Olympic stage. And I think Simone Biles opened a big door and shined a big light on mental health. And I think just in the pandemic in general, like, people have become more aware. I know I personally have become more aware of mental health, even my own. So for him to do this and realize, like, I'm not well and I need to step away for myself, I think that's a bold, especially as a man, you know what I'm saying? Like, as a man and playing football, to say, like, hey, I need a moment. And to Cora's point, as we were talking about Henry Ruggs, like, well, Ridley's 26, but the pressure, like, we all deal with things, but like the pressure of making it or wanting to make it because so many people need you or whatever. I don't know exactly what's going on with him, but I'm just thinking, like, you know, your first round draft pick, you're making millions of dollars. You got people coming at you left and right, people coming out just so many things just from that aspect. Not, you know, it could be other things happening as well. So for him to do that and to say, I need to get myself together is admirable. And I think that door has been opened based upon just like the recent months and the things that have been going on with athletes and their mental health.
Yeah, I think we all pretty much gonna have the same stance on this because we all three of us take mental health very seriously. And the jeers just come from selfish fans who want to see you just perform, right? But when you're not performing at the level, because I remember seeing people starting to post and say, what's going on with Calvin Ridley? We're in Atlanta. So a lot of my Facebook friends and people that I see that make comments are, what's going on with Ridley? He's not looking the same. Is it because Julio's gone? And blah, 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 blah. To hear that, okay, he said, it made sense. You know, if it's starting to affect your performance, it's just like any job. It's just like any job. If something's starting to affect your performance on the job, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to pull you to the side or you're going to have a conversation with somebody and going to say, hey, you might need to take a break. The tough part about sports are people don't look at it the same exact way. People really compartmentalize when they say, oh, do your job. Oh, this is what you do. You know, oh, you're supposed to be mentally tough. And like we said, those ladies did a great job, you know, with the stance they took. And I also want to applaud the Falcons for, you know, for being supportive, you know, in the measure, because he could possibly been on a team where that wouldn't have been the case, you know. So kudos to him. Like I said, we don't know what he's dealing with or what he's going through, but we do know that there is a lot of pressure and a lot of things that people don't deal with in the limelight, you know, aside from people just always thinking that money fixes everything. Oh, you're making millions of dollars. Oh, you're doing this. But, oh, did you know that my mom was, you know, dealing with this, or my dad was dealing with, or my brother, my sister, you know? So, like you said, it's very admirable. And like I said, we're going to be praying for him, you know, for a healthy recovery mentally, and that he can come back and perform, because he's a dog, man.
Yeah.
And we just haven't been really seeing that, you know, the past few weeks.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's jump over to our On to the Real with Joshua Ehambe. So Joshua Ehambe is a former football player at the University of Kansas. And the reason why we chose him as our On to the Real spotlight for this week is because once he realized that the professional ranks wasn't going to be in the cards for him, he began a grassroots sports ministry at the University of Kansas, and finding ways to like minister to his teammates. One of the things that he said is, he said he's a firm believer that the trials shape you into becoming who God called you to be, and he thinks that sport is a part of that. And so now he is a part of Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and he goes around to different schools and he encourages Bible studies on campuses. And so I thought this was a good story. You know, this was a good story to talk about, you know, just a route that we don't see or we don't hear about many athletes going when it comes to transition into life after sport. You know, we're all Christian, and you know, we have different experiences with our faith in sport or whatever. But I feel like we all had, well, and I guess I would have to ask and not just assume, but we all had that support while we were on campus. Am I correct in saying that?
Kind of from like a faith-based support.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Maybe not necessarily like by the athletic department, but like were there certain outlets that you could go to on campus where, you know, that part was like strengthened, encouraged, or developed?
Yeah, we did. We had something in the athletic department a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
We did. I wish it was more, but we did have. Yeah. I wish it was more, but we did have something to that effect.
One of our team chaplains, shout out to Chris Boston. He probably didn't even remember that. Or well, yeah, he probably doesn't remember me. He was from DC too. He was a player. He didn't play much while he played, but one of the things that he did was he made sure that he came back, and for a minute he was our team chaplain. And so he would come every Saturday before our games, and not just on Saturdays, but Saturdays he would come before our game, and he would, you know, have a word for us or whatever. And so you know, not everybody participated, but those of us who did have a foundation of faith, you know, we would go and we would kick it with him. And so sometimes he took us out to his house. Cord, I'm not sure if you remember Daryl Morrison used to play for the Redskins. They called him Demo. But he played for the Redskins, I want to say in the mid-90s. But Chris introduced us to him. And so they would do stuff like, he still lived in Ashburn. So they would do stuff like come and get us and take us to his house. I don't know if that was an NCAA violation or not, but we would have like, you know, Super Bowl. I vividly remember watching the Super Bowl party at his house. And I was the only one who didn't see Janet Jackson during that Super Bowl party. So it happened, and like I was looking away at something. It was like, oh my God, did y'all see what happened? I'm like, no, what happened? It was like Janet Jackson. And I was like, I missed that. And so YouTube wasn't as prevalent as it is now, so I didn't get the YouTube.
Right.
Oh man.
Yeah, but no, I said all that to say, like, you know, we had that type of presence on our campus, and so it was really dope to experience that, you know, and to have that kind of support for, you know, some of us who did have that foundation of faith, and even for those dudes who maybe didn't, but we kind of like introduced them to it or kind of like steered them towards it, you know.
Right.
So shout out to Joshua Ehambe. Keep doing the work that you're doing, sir. You are recognized and appreciated.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
All right. Feel good final thought. All right. So we're spotlighting this week Tatyana McFadden, and she's a Paralympic athlete, a Paralympic medalist. And so the 2020 Tokyo Paralympic Games didn't happen, obviously, in 2020. They happened this past summer. And she has won 17 Paralympic Games medals in her career.
17.
Yeah. After the 2016 Rio Games, between February and April of 2017, McFadden had described having several surgeries to fix the problem of blood clots that were traveling through her legs. And so it took a 20-month journey for her to get rid of this problem, including lymphedema that happened as a result of her recovery. And she described it as kind of the scariest time in her career because she didn't know if she would be able to compete again. Well, obviously, I said that in 2020, she was back to competition, and she was able to overcome all of these things in her career and come back and participate in they call it the 2020 Games, but
yeah,
it happened in 2021. So she was able to come back and compete again. And so I just thought this was awesome for her to be able to overcome all of this, because these things and these surgeries and some of the stuff that she went through probably could have, you know what I'm saying, deterred her from pushing forward and, you know, making sure she got to this that 17 medals that she got to. So yeah, how did you guys feel about seeing this story and hearing this story?
Amazing. Like, yeah, I took a quote from there, and she was like, I would love to see someone get into a racing chair and do 26.2 miles in under 2 hours. It takes time, it takes dedication, and a special skill set. So just the determination that all athletes have, but definitely, I don't want to misprint, Paralympic athletes, right? Amazing. And her journey of just perseverance and continuing to push and continuing to fight through her medical challenges and things like that, and still being able to compete at a high level. Like, she's won everything like there is to win in the sport. So she's a GOAT for sure.
Yeah. I think it's important to highlight the resilience and the strength that it takes, not only just to be, you know, an athlete, but to be a para-athlete and to be able to, you know, the amount of discipline and the amount of things it takes to be an athlete in general, right? Just a healthy limbed athlete is tough in itself. So I couldn't imagine, you know, the amount of challenges that they face, the things that they go through, the dietary, the innovative training that they have to do to make up for, you know, their hardships and the things that they're facing. So yeah, hats off, man, because it to me, it would be an inspiration as, you know, as a competing athlete to say, well, what's my reason for giving up?
Exactly.
You know, what's my reason for
Right.
stopping? You know, when you have people that are going out who have different things they're facing with their bodies and having to, you know, not only fight health issues and things that they may be facing, but fight normal everyday things that we take for granted.
Right.
So, you know, it's inspirational, and you know, hats off to her, and you know, wishing much more success. It's interesting because I seen a guy the other day coming down Candler Road on one of these, and I will often wonder, are all of them, you know, do all of them have some type of challenge? And I know sometimes some people just do it, you know, as a workout. Right. But to, you know, to know, like you said, that she's able to compete, and like you said, 26 miles in 2 hours. I mean, that's rolling.
Crazy.
That's 13 miles an hour with your arms.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So that's amazing. And like you said, hats off and kudos. It's just a constant reminder for myself to keep pushing in everyday stuff.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. So we are at the point in the show where we talk about, you know, some of the stuff that we've been watching, you know, what you know, I guess what we've been into. So we're gonna start off with you, J'Mia. Show picks. What you watching?
Okay, I probably said this on the last one. I Am Athlete.
Okay.
I have so much to say about them, but I love it. I love Brandon Marshall, what he has done with House of Athlete, I'm Athlete, the platform that has been created. I did not get into the I Am LA though. Like I didn't watch any of the LA, but I did watch some NASCAR, and I love the women. I Am Woman.
Yeah.
I love how they have brought, well, it's some of their significant others, and then some other women who are married to pro athletes that are not regulars on the male side. But their conversations are just really interesting. So just to see how this started as like an idea in the pandemic, and then like it's branched off into merchandise, into actual facility, and more House of Athletes are coming across the country from what I hear. So I just watched two episodes today. Really? So like I look forward to every Monday. I'm gonna watch it, and then the women they drop on Wednesdays now, and then they branching off into NASCAR. So it's just so much. But I love the platform, and love how, you know, just from the time I started watching it, how I've seen it grow. It's amazing. And they keep it real. Like I love that.
Me too.
It's the conversations that we've always wanted to hear. From elite athletes and just regular people, that like there's this safe space of like, when they come on I Am Athlete, you know, whoever's going to be on there is going to give you the real deal and stuff that you've never heard before. So I love it. Yeah.
Shout out to all the women, definitely.
I mean, they doing it. They killing it.
Yeah.
Like, they are killing it.
Special shout out to Asia. We were classmates at Howard. I say classmates.
Okay. Yeah, she's awesome.
She and she always, you know what I'm saying, very friendly, always showed love. So shout out to her. And
I will say one more thing. I will say, like, seeing Black women in an uplifting environment, right? Like they are encouraging one another. Like even Asia and Sherelle, they're both in real estate, but there's no competition. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a sense of unity and sisterhood that's so genuine that it's just good to see.
Yeah. Shout out to Kiafa too, because what you see on Key, that's her. She's so cool.
Yeah, she seems like your homegirl.
Yeah, she's so cool. We did some content with her this past weekend while we were down. Looking forward to doing that, and she'll be on Aristotle's pod. Her and Vic will be on Aristotle's podcast. Up and coming. So shout out to them. It's dope. It's dope. Yeah.
All right, Cord, what you watching?
All right, so I just finished season 2 of the Wu-Tang Saga.
Oh man. Yeah.
I love this show. I think a big part for me has just been we hear Inky Johnson talking about, process of a product. I
Mhm.
legit just fell in love with the process, and I love to see reverse engineer, or
Yeah.
it shot and tell a story of how something came together and how
Yeah.
something dope came together.
Right.
And to know that Raekwon and Ghostface were at
Beefing.
war with each other. Yeah, but just to see how Wu-Tang developed, hopefully we get an Outkast biopic. That's just the ATL in me.
Yeah. I need that.
But no, yeah. But on the other side, Pastor Todd series, all of us have been tapped into that.
Yeah.
Crazy Faith.
Crazy Faith. I just been checking out a few. I've been kind of expanding my podcast, checking out some different stuff. I guess because I'm stepping into this world now, just seeing how different people set up and stuff like that.
Right.
But my last watch that I really enjoyed was it's been Wu-Tang.
Okay.
The season 2. So season 2, 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been on it too. Man, I think I've said that 2 or 3 times on my show picks.
Yeah.
Just because I love it.
Old boy who's playing ODB.
ODB? He deserves an award, doesn't he?
Yo. He's making it believable. They did a great job casting.
They did. And for a minute I thought it was his son. Because I remember seeing his son on DJ Vlad, and I don't want to give him no. But anyway, I remember seeing his son in the interview, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, is that him? And so what I found out, I saw the quote where his son was talking about, that he wished he had been up for the role, but the guy who's playing him is doing a great job.
Yeah. He's actually from Philly.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from Philly. Yep.
Yeah, he playing that role though.
Yep.
Well, so I won't say a history buff, but I really love history. And so when I see stuff little stuff, I always watch Crash Course. It's like a little YouTube channel, and it has so much information. So between that and the infographic show on YouTube, those 2 channels I really watch to get a lot of information. Crash Course more so about history. And so one of the things that I was very happy that they did, because at first you only saw stuff about slavery, they decided to dedicate a whole playlist, a whole segment of a bunch of different episodes about Black American history. And so it's digestible for any age. So even though they have little animated characters, like the guy who's narrating and speaking about the different things in the show or the different moments in Black American history, it's good for a child 6 and older, all the way up into adult age. And so it's definitely a dope thing. If you're in the history, or even if you aren't in the history, and it's you can really learn something that you may not have known about Black American history through this YouTube channel.
Oh,
awesome! Sounds
definitely
check
that out. Yep,
we said the same thing.
Yep. Well, we are at the end of episode 134. I again truly appreciate you guys for filling in. You guys always have an open invite. So anytime you all right, hey, we want to come on the podcast, just because we down to, have you on and chop it up. But for you guys to fill in for Stephanie while she's out for this month, we truly appreciate you guys.
No problem.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah. Let everybody know how they can get in touch with you. I know you did it at the top, J'Mia, but just reiterate it for the people so that they know where to find you, with your website, your IG, Twitter, all of that stuff.
Sure. Yes, you can follow us Well, our website is newbreedworks.com. Go check us out there. We have the exchange zone. I can't talk. The exchange zone course for student athletes available now for purchase online for student athletes and parents. Geared towards high school student athletes. You can follow us on Instagram at newbreedworks, and you can follow me on Instagram at J'Byrd_newbreed.
And you can follow your boy Cord Parks at CPTWO number 9. Repeat that again, at CPTWO number 9. And make sure you go get that exchange zone course.
Yes. High school student athletes, high school. And I know I got some of my teammates now who are coaches.
Come on now.
Come on.
Reach out.
Let's get to it. Right. Y'all got the info. Come on, stop playing.
We'll make it happen.
Right. Definitely, if you want to reach out to us here at the Field to the Real podcast, our email is field2thereal.com. You can reach out to us on IG and Twitter at field2thereal for IG. Twitter is at field2therealp1. You can go to our Facebook page. Every time that we put up a video on YouTube, it transfers over to our Facebook page so you can watch it in any location. But certainly go to our YouTube page, subscribe, like, share. Our videos come out at 8 from Monday through Thursday. And yeah, just go ahead and check us out. Give us some feedback. If you like the podcast, let us know you do. If you don't, tell us why you don't. But either way, we want to hear from you guys. We want you guys to interact with us. But as always, we love you guys. We thank you for continuing to listen and watch. But we out of here. Peace.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.